Capital punishment is the most debated part of the American legal system today. So what cases have sparked the most controversy? Here are the top recent death penalty cases still adding fuel to the fire. Leto Escamilla, 2015. Leto Escamilla was executed in 2015 for the shooting of police officer Christopher James outside a nightclub in Dallas, Texas. The news spread nationwide when Escamilla showed a villain-like behavior afterward, laughing and boasting about his crime. On his deathbed, Escamilla asked for God to bless the daughter of the murdered officer. Today, many cite Escamilla's case as an example of capital punishment success in America. Todd Willingham, 2004. Supposed murderer Todd Willingham was executed in 2004 after being accused of murdering his 3 daughters by arson. After the execution, advances in forensic science suggested that the original claims against Willingham were false. The fire had likely not been started with gas, meaning no arson had taken place at all. Willingham and his family had insisted on his innocence throughout the trial process, despite the fact that a guilty plea would have given him a life in prison instead. Dennis McGuire, 2014. Dennis McGuire was executed in 2014 for the murder of pregnant 22-year-old Joy Stewart some 25 years earlier.
By a combination of drugs never before used in the U.S.
What makes this case so controversial was the execution process itself, which utilized a new, relatively untested lethal injection formula and took an agonizing 25 minutes to complete.
Now the opposing view. An OSU professor tells Time magazine, quote, Ohio is taking...
Eyewitnesses called the procedure cruel and experimental. McGuire was obviously in pain throughout. Lastly, and most recently, Kelly Gissendaner, 2015. Gissendaner was executed for convincing her boyfriend to carry out the murder of her husband in 1997. Gissendaner's sentence sparked extreme controversy when she underwent a conversion experience to Christianity in prison. While incarcerated, Gissendaner became a student of theology, started a women's support group, and was reported by fellow inmates to have talked other women out of suicide. Pope Francis urged Georgia to spare Gissendaner's life as well as Escamilla's, but both executions were carried out regardless.
Despite calls for her life to be spared and a last-minute plea from the Pope, clemency was denied.
What do you think? Do these controversial cases provide an argument against the use of the death penalty? Or is capital punishment still a valid resource in the American court of law today? You decide.